Hey guys, how are you doing? So I have got my wonderful client here, Simone, and she is just doing amazing things with her life. So I thought that while she's here, I would make a nice little video and tell you all about a little bit about her journey and what she's achieving at the moment with my help doing some coaching. And yeah, so how have you found it so far, Simone? Tell everybody how it is and what you expected.
It's amazing. I expected great things because I'd had some sessions with Adele. She does group sessions as well for weight management. So I'd done a course of that, and so that's kind of what made me think I really need you in my life. And so I committed in the new year to having one-to-one sessions with Adele, which honestly, like that, even the very first session, which was meant to be more of a welcoming session, wasn't it? But we worked through so much, and I doubled my income honestly in 2 days. So she gave me an implementation plan to achieve a higher salary, which I needed, and I just followed our plan. And then I sent the letters out, got the money in, and literally within a couple of days I doubled my income. And so that's just taken so much stress off me, financial stress, and it's just, obviously having a greater income is a good thing. So and then we worked through not just that, but like the person. So today we've just had our second session, and we've worked through so much personal development aspects. So I've decided that I need to spend we've decided that I need to spend a lot more time on me, and I was draining myself a lot. I actually had cancer a few years ago, thankfully, that I'm now completely cured from. But we've realised perhaps what got me to that state is this perpetual need to help and give constantly at the expense of my own well-being.
Yeah.
So that was a great realisation. That
It's been amazing.
Yeah. And we're just working on now the personal development side of things, how to get my dreams into a reality rather than just in a dream state. It's great to have dreams, but to actually fulfil them, we have to have, what did you say, passion, drive and determination.
Absolutely.
See, I remember, good student.
Yeah, she's amazing. So if you could think about maybe 3 or 4 points which you've learnt about yourself which are like life-changing, what would they be? Can you?
Yeah, so today what I really realised was this whole fact that I was just a constant people pleaser. So now I've realised that I'm going to invest, my priority is myself, and that's not selfish, it's necessary.
Absolutely.
In order to then give your best.
Brilliant.
And the other few steps I think that I've really learnt today is learning how to stand your ground and not just be a pushover. But that doesn't, what you helped me realise is that doesn't need to be aggressive, standing your ground. It can be very peaceful, like you say, I choose peace. I'm going to use that, because when people come at you with perhaps an agenda of their own, they often want a reaction, which at times I was giving to certain adults in my life who perhaps were pushing me towards that anger phase. But I realised today that I can control my reaction, and if I choose peace and I can just calmly say to them, sorry, can you repeat that again slowly, then they realise that they're in the wrong, and then you've stood your ground by choosing that peace, and you've kept your calm.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is just great. Yeah.
Amazing. That's massive. We've got the little dog here.
Dog here.
So that's massive learning. So what would you tell anybody who's thinking about, we're not sure what coaching is, and they think maybe it's for people or therapy are the people who are broken or they may not need it? What would you tell people who are not quite sure and who haven't experienced the way that I work specifically?
Yeah, so I really recommend Adele with all of my heart, because I perhaps fell into that category a little where I wasn't sure what life coaching was. I'd had counselling, I've had loads of counselling for the cancer and other things in my life. I've had EMDR therapy, I've had CBT, I've had lots of, and I'm not discounting them, they were great as well, but life coaching is something, I'd say my favourite, because it's something that it doesn't focus on your past. So in America, for example, people who have had post-traumatic stress as I've had, they're now realising that actually focusing on the past and reliving the trauma, which a lot of counselling does,
re-imprints it into your neurology.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And they're just like realising this stuff now.
But that's
because
what I talk about all the time as well. The more you relive it and talk about it, the bigger you make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely fell into that category, and you showed this to me, that I was sort of living in this victimhood mentality.
You were really fearful, and you associated with, you're like, I've almost like you still had the cancer.
Yeah.
And actually,
Carrying
since
it
I've noticed, even since we last discovered that, even Simone's hair has grown thicker.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, like she's not even wearing a wig anymore because she's not identifying with the cancer.
Yes,
and
so
it was
true,
like,
yeah.
and so when we realised what probably may have led up to the creation of the cancer, which is what I think we both agree on, that you can create and destroy disease.
Yes.
You're either at ease or at dis-ease.
Yeah.
And so then you realise, actually, well, I don't ever need to create that again.
Yes.
And that freedom to know that you don't have to go through what you've already been through was just like...
Unbelievable. It was like a big weight had literally been lifted. I felt so. For all those reasons, I'd really recommend life coaching. I mean, it just gives you a new insight and refreshing insight into things, because we have been in this ritual of old ways with things like counselling. And look, there's a place for it. Counselling really helped me, but you have to make sure your counsellor works for you. Whereas I think every life coach really does work for you, because they focus on the forward thinking, on where you want to be rather than where you've been. And yes, you have to talk a bit about where you've been, but you don't just focus on that.
Yeah.
You actually focus on your potential, your full potential, which is amazing, and it's so practical. So it's not wishy-washy like a lot of counselling is. Well, maybe this and maybe that. It's like, okay, well, there's answers. It's like, what can we do? How can we implement this? What's the next step? And it's not to the point of like making you feel stressed about it or anything. It's just what works for you. It's all about what works for the individual. And you've just really helped so much. Like, I literally can't recommend her enough. And yeah, like, I understand if you're a bit skeptical to start about these things, so was I, but honestly, it's helped me. I wouldn't go back at all. This is the best money I've spent, and it's money that I've spent on myself, which we always don't, we think we don't really deserve that, or we think, oh, I'm going to spend money on myself on the latest handbag or the latest coat. Why don't you spend money on actually becoming the best version of you, being happy, being fulfilled? That's where your money should be prioritised, I think.
Oh, well, on that note, I think that we can end this amazing video. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Simone, for joining me. You're amazing, and watch this space, everybody, because this one is a superstar. And an amazing musician, and awesome things are about to happen. So watch the space, and I'll keep you informed. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.